Hi everyone, my name is Stella, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the checklist of 50 zero waste habits. I'm going to see if I check myself against these habits or not. So if you want to also see how many of these 50 zero waste habits you personally have, I will link below the original article that I will be citing in this video, as well as a checklist that I made for myself. Anyway, let's start. Avoid plastic water bottles and take away coffee cups. This one definitely check. I think I carry my own water bottles since 2015, maybe even before that, I don't quite remember, but like for a long time I had my water bottle and I was avoiding buying plastic water bottles. And in terms of coffee cups, I think I started doing it in 2018 or 19 when I actually bought my own cup. You know that I'm a big fan of Stojo collapsible coffee mugs. I have the whole video about that, and the reason I like it because you can literally carry it with you all the time, because I would even bring this cup to some like events. You know, when you go to some workshops or webinars, they have free coffee and you have to use plastic cups. Instead of using that, I would bring my own tumbler and pour coffee in there. Okay, number 2, plastic cutlery and straws. I guess I gave up plastic straws for quite a long time, maybe since 2016. I lived in Bali back then, and in Bali it's quite popular for people to use either bamboo straws or glass straws or metal. And nowadays I actually use silicone straws. They're actually awesome. And in terms of plastic cutlery, we try to avoid taking plastic cutlery. We go camping, we use our reusable cutlery. I have the one from Joseph. I actually like it better than sporks. Number 3, plastic grocery bags. I actually didn't use plastic grocery bags. I didn't use plastic produce bag. I always brought my own like shopping bag and my own mesh bags. And I even actually checked when I started using the mesh bags. It was in 2017. That's where I ordered my first. They were synthetic mesh bags for the produce, but at that point that was the only thing I could find. And I'm actually really glad. It's 4 years since I'm using them, and most of the mesh bags that I bought when I still lived in Bali, I brought them with me to California, and I still have most of them, so it's kind of cool. Number 4, coffee and tea. This talks about when you're making coffee at home, that you don't use coffee filters, because I guess it's quite popular in America, and also when you make tea, you don't use tea bags. I personally don't use tea bags. I always brew my tea. I have a little kamjovi thing, and there are tea leaves in there. In terms of coffee, we have a coffee machine that doesn't use any single-use plastic. You know, the worst are the coffee pots, but we have an espresso machine where we actually pour the beans, and the beans are grinded there and the coffee is made. So it's quite good, but the only thing, the coffee comes in plastic bags, so I don't know if it checks for us or not. Okay, number 5, disposable cookware and pan liners. So what do they mean by those ones? It's things like paper plates, styrofoam cups, you know, the ones for the parties, like aluminium foil and other things. So I guess in terms of the kitchen, we are like quite zero waste. We don't use parchment paper. We either don't use anything and just grease the pan, or we also have this baking mat. Oh, another one is like to invest in the eco-friendly cookware. Let me see. I guess our cookware is quite eco-friendly. We mostly have cast iron, and all of our pots and pans, they are metal, and maybe some parts are silicone, but they are completely plastic free. Like all the bowls that we use for cooking, they're either ceramic or metal. Yeah, we don't really have much plastic in the kitchen in terms of cookware. Number 6, napkins and paper towels. We don't really usually use napkins and paper towels. We have regular towels, and we have lots of different like cloth that we use like to wipe things. In terms of towels, my favorite ones are the surgical lint-free towels, and I will show how they look. And the cool thing about them, because they are basically repurposed, so after they are used in the surgery room, obviously they are washed and so on and so forth, when they can't be used in the surgery anymore, and they are actually sold, and they're sold quite cheap. It's like something like $20 for like 50 towels, so it's gonna last you forever. And they're perfect because they are very absorbent, they're lint-free, and they're just perfect for cleaning in the house. In terms of Saran and Cling Wrap, we don't really use it. We, as they suggest, washable beeswax wraps. That's what I use. And also, if you are vegan, you can use vegan carnauba box food wraps. Yeah, we don't even usually either put things in the container or stasher bags, you know, my favorite. Also, I have these silicone lids that are actually perfect. So if I have a bowl with a salad and I need to cover it, I either use a plate, just put a plate on top of it, or I use this silicone lids. I will actually show you how it looks, and it's quite convenient because they kind of suction into the thing, so it's good. Number 8, plastic food containers. Obviously it says if you already have some plastic containers, don't throw them away, but if you keep buying new ones, don't buy them. In terms of food containers, besides stashers that I already said several times, but I'm a super big fan of them, I actually buy my food containers in IKEA, and the reason why I like to do it, first of all, they sell things separately, so you can buy separately the container and separately you can buy the lid. And also, for example, I have containers of like the one is like super deep, another one is not that deep, and they utilize the same lid, which is super convenient. And also, if I break one container, I'm not going to end up with the lid that I don't need. You know, if I lost the lid, I just buy a lid. If I broke the container, I just buy a new container. So I actually think, plus it's quite cheap, so I think IKEA is the best in terms of buying glass food containers. That's my opinion. Number 10, unsustainable suds and scrubbers. So everything that you use to wash your dishes, like you know, the synthetic sponges and stuff like this. Also this soap that you buy. So let me talk. What do we do in terms of that? I guess we are not that perfect in terms of cleaning our dishes. We didn't go zero waste in there. I can tell you what I tried and what I liked and disliked. One thing, we tried the bar soap. I forgot the name of the brand, but it was a vegan, natural bar soap. I kind of liked it, the smell and the texture, but for us, we noticed that it doesn't really clean the greasy dishes. And second thing, when the soap bar is still big, it's convenient to use it, but when it gets smaller, it kind of caves in. I wish I had photos, but maybe I can find it on the internet. It kind of caves in and it creates a lot of mess. So for us, it wasn't the most convenient way, so we kind of tried it once and then we gave up. In terms of scrubbers, I actually tried two like somewhat zero waste options. One was a non-synthetic, non-plastic scrubber. I think I ordered it from Grove. It was, or I got it for free from Grove because they give you gifts. It was a walnut something scrub. I will show it here on the screen how it looks. It was kind of convenient, but I think it didn't last as long as a plastic one. I mean, as a synthetic one. So, and also what I tried, I bought the brush, you know, the wooden brush with the bristles. I didn't like washing dishes with that. It's good to scrub some pots and pans, but not for plates. So I don't know how people use it. I didn't really like it. I mean, just not my preference. And also what I didn't like about it, it gets really dirty. I will show you the picture how mine looks after 1 year. It's like super disgusting, don't trip out. I only use it now to scrub something super dirty, and I don't know how to clean it. It's really hard to clean it.
Actually, I forgot to mention that starting in 2021, I went into knitting and crocheting. So now I am crocheting my own dish scrubbers, wash towels, and other stuff.
11. Avoid garbage can liners. Technically, we don't really use garbage can liners. For the compost bin, I just collect everything in the ceramic, or when I had actually compost like little bin, I used a newspaper to line it. And for the garbage that goes to waste, we just reuse the plastic bags that we get from the store. I mean, it sounds weird right now, but in 2020 we weren't able to use our own shopping bags. We had to get plastic bags when you go to the store. We just try to reuse those, but we don't buy like plastic just to put as a garbage bag. And for camping, actually, it's interesting because we also have a reusable garbage bag. If I have the video from it, I will show it here. Actually, I plan to do a video about the zero waste camping, so it's going to be there as well. Number 12, avoid using virgin pulp toilet paper. So, not a fun fact, as this article says, producing 1 roll of toilet paper out of virgin tree pulp uses 1.5 pounds of wood, which is about 1 kilo of wood, and 37 gallons of water. 37 gallons of water is 200 liters of water. Anyway, I will list it on the screen. So they suggest to switch to eco-friendly toilet paper brands like Who Gives a Crap. Actually, everyone advertised Who Gives a Crap on the YouTube. Actually curious about this brand. I want to research it. I have some weird notion about it because it is a sustainable brand. They're supposed to be eco-friendly, but what bugs me when you receive this box of toilet paper, I don't understand why each individual toilet roll is colorful like a paper. First of all, somebody has to print this colorful paper. It's so wasteful just to wrap each roll. So this is what I don't get about this brand, and that's why I never tried it so far. Also, some people use zero waste toilet methods like washing their butts. I'm not there yet. I'm kind of curious to use this tushy bidet, but I'm not there yet. One thing that we do, we buy bamboo toilet paper, which is technically better than other tree pulp because bamboo grows faster, so it's somewhat sustainable. So I guess we're halfway there. Okay, number 13, plastic razors. I guess here I don't really check because I know that lots of eco bloggers, they switch to metal safety razor. I didn't do it yet because I have a weird relationship with the razor. First of all, I don't use disposable razor. I use the one that just the head is replaced, and I rarely replace heads. I probably replace them once in a year or once in 1.5 years. And also I don't rarely shave myself. So I don't know, I'm kind of confused. I kind of want to, I guess, eventually switch to safety razor, but I'm not there yet. Plus, I used to use safety razor when I was a kid. When I was a teen. You cut yourself all the time with that thing. So I'm not quite sure about that. Okay, 14. This one is easy. Tampons and period pads. Yes, I use menstrual cup and I use reusable pads. So I don't really buy, tampons. I don't buy single-use pads, so I guess I check for this one.
Actually, I also forgot to mention that starting last year, I'm also a big fan of period underwear. I tried things. I have the regular ones and the ones for doing sports, and I really love them.
15. Plastic toothbrushes, toothpaste tubes, and floss. Okay, let me see. Let's start from the end. In terms of floss, I'm actually using right now the floss that is attached to the paper. I don't know how is it better or not. So, the paper production industry is quite dirty, if I can say so. Okay, if you consider it zero waste or not, pass. In terms of toothpaste, last year I tried the David toothpaste. It's super expensive. It's like $10 compared to $5 of regular toothpaste or even cheaper. So it's quite expensive, but it has the aluminum packaging, so it's not plastic. One thing that I was concerned about, David, I don't think this aluminum will be recycled because it's too dirty. So I'm not really sure about that. In terms of toothbrush, I'm, I guess, the least zero waste here. I have electric toothbrush. I really like it. I don't like the regular toothbrushes because they're too big for my mouth. I don't know, it sounds weird, but I have a weird mouth. So for traveling, we usually use non-electric toothbrush, and when we went traveling in 2020, I actually bought myself a bamboo toothbrush. But what sucked about that bamboo toothbrush, when I ordered it, it came in the plastic packaging, so I don't know.
I actually forgot to mention another thing. The story with this bamboo toothbrush was quite sad. The toothbrush got moldy.
Deodorant. Okay, this one I tried. I actually tried 2 plastic-free deodorants. One is from Habitat Botanicals and another one I just got recently. It's from Native. Both have cardboard packaging, so it's completely plastic-free. So I didn't like Habitat Botanicals very much. I like the scent, the flavor, but it's too dry for me. The one from Native, I like the application more, but the scent is quite strong. So if you're weird sensitive person about smells like me, you might not like it, but actually after you apply it, you don't really smell it. You only smell it when I apply it. Okay, so far I like Native, but I didn't use it for a long time. Habitat Botanicals is okay, but not my favorite. 17. Don't use soaps that are packaged in plastic bottles and wrapped in plastic. So in terms of soaps and anything that comes to that, one thing that we stopped doing, we stopped buying shower gel. Instead, we buy bar soap, and we try to buy the one that comes without the packaging, or if it comes in cardboard packaging. Soaps for hands, we mostly use, at least so far, liquid soap, but we buy like large refills. It's probably not ideal, but as I already mentioned in one of my other videos, I kind of have beef with the bar soaps. People go crazy and they think that bar soap is definitely better than liquid soap. But for me, it's a question because some of the soap contain palm oil, and I would prefer to buy soap that is natural without palm oil and packaged in the plastic than to buy a soap that has a palm oil in it. The bar soap. But I guess in terms of zero waste, bar soap is better. In terms of shampoo and conditioning, this is still kind of new territory for me. I did experiment last year. I bought a shampoo that is a bar soap. I didn't like it. It didn't fit my hair. My hair was all over the place. It's already super dry and brittle, and with the bar soap it was even worse, because I think the problem is the bar soap, they mostly drying your hair or drying your skin, so not all people can actually use it, or at least not that successfully, or you have to try many brands. And also for everyday, I use the brand that I use since 2013, so almost 8 years, and it's a family-owned brand. It's a B Corp company. It's like fair trade and blah blah blah, all these, like, you know, good labels. And also it's actually black-owned brand. So for me, as much as it's not zero waste, but if I look at the sustainability as a bigger thing, for me, I'm kind of happy that I support the family-owned business, like artisanal businesses. That's more important for me sometimes than being 100% zero waste. But I guess for different people, it's different. Next one, nylon toilet brushes. Okay, we didn't have a chance to replace our, toilet brush. We have the one we bought 2018 or whenever we moved in. So if I will buy the next one, I will probably invest in the one maybe that has a bamboo handle, but we haven't had this chance yet. Number 20, separate cleaning products for everything. Obviously avoid. Yeah, I guess we check for it. We don't really buy, like, you know, how sometimes people have, this is for the bathroom, this is for the tile, this is for the kitchen, this is for the counter, this is for the floor. So I actually used to do my own solution, but I only did it once and then I got lazy. At least in the last couple of months I haven't done a new one. Maybe I should do it again. Okay, for pets, plastic wrapped treats and dog food. Okay, this one is hard for me. We have a dog. Dog-wise, it's kind of hard to be zero waste because you have pooping bags, you have food, and you have also treats. In terms of food, we usually buy like giant bags, so at least we try to avoid the amount of packaging instead of buying like smaller ones. Also, in terms of treats, unfortunately, we weren't specifically choosing anything because we usually buy our treats in the Ross or in grocery outlet, whereas when they are discounted, because otherwise the dog treats are super expensive. So far, we don't really choose because most dog treats come in plastic, and if you buy like by weight or some like fancy ones, they're too expensive. I guess it's something to research for the future. In terms of pooping bags, I think 2 years ago we bought like a giant amount of pooping bags, and we only like finishing them now. Sometimes when we go for a walk, and especially when we lived in the previous apartment, we actually just use a pooper scooper. So when we can avoid pooping bag, we do it usually. And the next pooping bags that I'm gonna order, I'm probably gonna order the ones from Bio Bag because they are biodegradable, compostable, I think. So at least if they're gonna be sent to the landfill, they're not going to be completely biodegradable, but I guess they're a little bit better than regular plastic bags. 23, non-biodegradable pet toys. In terms of pet toys, actually it's interesting to research into eco-friendly dog toys and what brands are there. Maybe one day I can research it and make a little video about that. 24, nylon and polyester pet collars, leashes and harnesses. Actually the last collar is made from leather, which is maybe not so good for people who are vegan, but we bought it in Mexico, and it was from the recyclable belts. So somebody recycles old belts and makes them into dog collars. So that's what we bought. I guess somehow it's good. The leash, unfortunately, is synthetic, but we have this leash for the last 3 years. We don't really replace. 25, cheap promotional items like free pens and pencils. I usually don't get merchandise. I don't like those things. Unnecessary printing. Okay, we have a printer at home, so I guess we do some printing. We don't do unnecessary printing, so if we need to read something, we're not gonna print it out. We only print out documents that you have to sign and send manually. So I guess we don't really do unnecessary printing, but we do sometimes. Paper mailers and junk mail. Oh my god, don't get me even started. I actually have a video devoted to junk mail, and I researched this topic. I did all the steps mentioned in this video. I did it last year and I did again in this year, and I have to tell you, it I guess depends on your mailman. I actually put a little sticker, no junk, no promotional materials, in my mailbox, and he still puts it there. 28, books, magazines and newspapers. We don't really buy physical books, but I know I just did a video where I said that I actually bought few physical books last year. So as a principle, I don't buy them, but as exception, I did it last year. 29, non-rechargeable batteries. We don't really buy non-rechargeable batteries. We have the ones that are rechargeable, so we're good in here. 30, how much I buy in general. Adopt a minimalist mentality and stop buying stuff you don't need. I guess, yeah, that's somehow checks. We're not really buying too much stuff. We don't buy things we don't need. But again, I mean, depends what you compare. I don't really buy something unnecessary or something I don't use. 31. Food and packaging. Oh my goodness. I had big plans for 2020 that I will stop buying most of the foods that are packaged. But as we know, it was impossible. As soon as the, like zero waste groceries will open up again and you will be able to go there and buy, refillable foods, I will go back to that. But right now it's impossible. Buying new clothes. Challenge yourself to buy less new clothes or even go as far as never buying new. Most of the things I bought recently are secondhand. Laundry washes. This is what they say. Cut back to a laundry once a week, still stick to cold water washes, and also wear your things longer. Because some people wash things just after wearing them once. I mean, t-shirt I can understand, but washing your jeans after 1 or 2 times, it's kind of ridiculous. I guess in here we somehow check.
And also I'm trying to actually air dry my clothes compared to using the machine. That's supposed to keep my clothes last longer. But even if we do the dryer, we don't use disposable sheets, we use the wool reusable balls.
34. Technology upgrades. Obviously not to buy new gadgets just for sake of buying. I mean, we usually don't do it, plus we often buy second-hand gadgets, so I guess it works. Air travel. Haha. I mean, in general, air travel is quite polluting. I don't know if it's worth speaking now, not many people travel. But I was thinking a lot last year, and I probably would not give up travel just because it's polluting, because travel is such an important part of our life, exploring other places, seeing other places. I think it's very important for your mind and personal development, so I would never probably give up that. But it's good that there are, like some airlines that do this carbon offset and stuff like this. But again, if the ticket is much more expensive, I don't know if people would really buy it. So for me, right now, air travel doesn't really check, unfortunately. Reliance on your vehicle, they say, instead of commuting by car, reduce your carbon waste by opting for transportation alternatives, carpools, public transport, and bicycle. I mean, it depends where you live. If I was living in like downtown of a city, or if I was living in Europe in some like small towns, I would probably use a bicycle. But where I live, it's kind of hard to get around by bicycle. A couple of times I actually walked for half an hour, 1 hour. It was a weird experience because you walk by the freeway. Even before 2020, I didn't commute to the office, so technically I don't use a car every day. Now I don't even leave the house at all most of the time. I actually used to use a public transport a little bit. I used BART, sometimes buses, but not as much because here it's not very convenient. But it would be nice to do, but so far it's kind of too far-fetched for me. Eating out. Obviously don't buy plastic wrapped snacks, don't buy takeaway and stuff like this. I mean, before, again, 2020, we would rarely buy takeaway. It's not natural for us. We cook a lot at home and we also just go to the restaurants, but in 2020, we had lots of takeouts. But give experience gifts in terms of physical gifts. Also give people like zero waste gifts and stuff like that. I guess I'm kind of lucky. I don't give many gifts to other people besides my husband. I don't give gifts to anyone. We don't really have this habit to give lots of gifts to family members. Plus my family is far away. Most of my friends are far away from here. So I guess I'm lucky I don't need to give people many gifts. But 39, jars and more jars. Obviously reusing jars and also using jars to buy in bulk. Obviously we already talked, buying in bulk is not an option right now, but I actually do reuse jars. I usually remove the labels from them and then I use them to store things as containers, to store some dry foods like grains and stuff. And 40, all Tupperware. Don't buy new stainless steel or glass alternatives until you need to. I mean, I was lucky. I moved from Bali to California 3 years ago, and obviously I didn't bring my Tupperware from there. I just gave it to my friends or to other people. And here, since I had a chance to buy everything new, we from the very beginning bought things that were mostly plastic free. 41, food waste. Okay, in terms of food waste, I think we are quite good. We usually don't have any leftovers that are just rotting away in the fridge. Also, I use kitchen scraps, food scraps, and make them into soups, into broth. I even have a separate video about that if you're curious. Learn some basic sewing skills, like patching holes, mending your clothes and stuff like this. Actually, I have some basic sewing skills, and I'm actually can fix some like clothes. If 43 worn out clothes and towels. I mean, we don't even have any like old clothes. We don't really have anything. At least not yet. 44. Old toys for pets. Before investing in new pet toys, even eco-friendly, try to put old stuffed animals to use, or if you don't have them, look at the thrift shop or talk to your friends. It actually makes sense that instead of buying new dog toys, you can actually go to the thrift store and just buy used toys. I never thought about it. That's really smart. That's cool. 45. Give stuff away. Donate and sell, or just give it for free on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and Free Cycle. Oh, I didn't know about Free Cycle. I should try it out. We don't usually throw things away. I actually sell most of the stuff, even like for $10 on the Craigslist or Mercury. 46. Recycle properly. I have the whole video about recycling, but it's also very important to check the rules for your particular municipality. I like how they say in this article that in their neighborhood, in their council, the pizza boxes can be recycled, while in the other it's not. So I did it when I learned the rules. I printed it out and put it in front of our recycling bin, so every time when we throw something there, we can actually consult. 48. Collect your food waste. I already mentioned this, that I collect some food scraps that can be made into the soup, and also I guess they mean the composting. Actually, composting goes as 49, and I do the composting. I actually do composting since 2015, maybe. I started when I was living in Bali, and I still do it. Back then I would just dig a hole and dig my scraps, food scraps, but now I use a vermicomposter, and I guess it's time to make a video about that. I actually have filmed lots of little clips about my vermicomposter, but I just never had the time to put them together, and I guess it's time to do it. And number 50, use rot to regrow. What? The idea is that when you do composting, you create soil from the composting, and you can use it for your garden. Yeah, also I use the vermicomposter liquid that seeps from it in this certain can, and you can use it as fertilizer. So I guess that's my checklist. I actually didn't count my score. I guess I will be doing it when I will be editing this video, and then you will hear from me again when I will give the judgment of my zero waste stability. Lots of things I check, some things I don't check, and this is in terms of zero waste. It's not about eco or sustainability, it's focused on zero waste. I guess it's not bad, and most of my habits already exist for quite some time. Some of the habits I tried last year, and I guess this year, I hope I will have enough energy and this year won't be crazy, so I can try some new things. And also what I like to do in this channel, kind of record my journey, tell you about things that I tried, that worked out, that didn't work out for me. Ask them in the comments. And also, if you did this checklist, please leave your number, how many points out of this 50 you checked for yourself. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you liked it. I hope it wasn't too long. If you liked it, and if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe. If you like it and you subscribe, you can give me the thumbs up or your thoughts about this checklist. Anyway, see you in my next video, and thanks for watching it. Bye bye.